Kia ora te whānau, e tūki te mihi atu kia koutou e noho nei, hara mai ki te tautoko a kaupapa o tēnei rā ngā mihi. Te kaimahi o te rongo nei, ngā mahi ngā kaupapa, ngā mihi. Kia ora te whānau. Actually, I hate that word, social entrepreneur. It's not something I would have dreamed up. I just got to say to our matua from Whakape, well, you're not the only one that gets the bad press from the Advocate. Moro also has its days, when we have our bad hair days. Look, I just want to say to the organisers and to the people that have come, this kaupapa is timely. I mean, and we heard some of our speakers about some of the issues that we have to face. Real tight times that are happening right now. Actually, it's not about anybody else doing it for us. Coming back to that tino ranga, tino tanga kōrero, it's about us standing up, and doing it. And I am sick and tired of being defined by other people about what we are. Whether it's around health, around economics, or that's where it started. Somebody came in and defined us, or wanted to define us, looking like something else. And here we are today with all the issues that we have. 20 years ago I was in Otara, working with one of the Hula's whanaunga friends, my niece Zina. And I was thinking at that time it was time for me to go home. I was been away from home for about 18 years, all over the place, tipi haere. And you have this thing, I think all of us, I believe it anyway, you have this stamp, and mine was made in Moeroa. So I had this inkering to go home. And actually at the time they were doing an article for Metro magazine, and they were going around asking the question, what do you think the answer is for Māori people? This is what was happening. So they interviewed me. You know what I said? Go home. Now, everybody laughed at me at the time and said, well, what are you going home for? What is there at home? And I had this thing in my head. You got to make the what. See, one of the things that I learned from my whanaunga, and I don't come from an academic background. I would have been classed as dyslexic. Well, that's what the technical term for me not being able to read and write properly. So I come from the school of hard knocks, through the back door. Most of my life, I've sat in this position, whether it's with rangatahi or whānau, and you're the interpreter between the mainstream and our whānau. Because languages in many forms actually alienate our people from opportunities. So when I went home, I had this thing, and the other kōrero was, when you get older, you can go home back, retire back in Moeroa, or wherever you come from. But actually, nah. Because what I realized back then was that I wanted to go home still young. I wanted to go home to contribute. Because there were many matua that made me who I was. The baton was being passed on, and I had to step up. So when I went home, and when they said, well, what are you going to do when you go home? Well, I said, I don't know, but I'm going to do something. So if you look over there at that vision, that vision was put together by a whole lot of people from Moeroa. And it talked about our desire to shape our future. Now, people talk, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this afternoon. And can I say this before I start? I have to do my connection to Rarawa, which comes through my lovely sister, she's our po. We've stuck her in the ground over here. So matua, that's our lawnmower. Mereana, Narapo from Pangaru, that's my tuahine. And on my mother's side, she comes from Koatutaka. And my whanaunga Manny over here, because there's having some battles around that kōrero at the moment, around Whakapapa. But that's from my mother's side and my connection back here. And that's why I just actually really, before I even got the invite to come and talk, I was scanning on the, and I got this pānui about this kaupapa. And I thought, good on those fellas. See, we should be talking to each other, not looking around following everybody else. Because we spend too much time chasing the wind, and we don't see what we got right in front of us. When they said to go back to Moeroa, you're going back to a hole. Well, actually, for most of the people, the attitude was a hole. That's why we lived in a hole. But I went back there, and I knew there were some amazing people that taught me about being Māori. We had amazing orators. We had amazing artists. We had amazing people that were talented people. And that's what I grew up with. Yes, I've seen once more warriors, but there's another side to us as well. And I came from that background. Not saying that we didn't have the issues, but what I knew, if we didn't have whānau strong and didn't know who we were, that would add to the coming problems of big Wangaro. So I'm going to do all I'm going to show you is some of the things we've tried. Can I say tried? I am not a professional at this. I'm not a specialist. I'm just this hoop-and-nose boy from Rarawa who just was trying, because I know that if you keep going at things, if you give things a shot, and you get people coming with you, actually you can do stuff. So, I'm going to show you some of the stuff. You're going to move along. Okay. No, I've got a guy over there, because I was just going to say behind every good man there's an even better woman, but she's not doing it, there's other folks doing it. Okay, one of the things, projects you may be aware of, we got involved with over 12 years ago. Our Ropu was doing insulation. Coming back to what the doctor said, around about half. Can I say, a lot of people didn't want to touch it. You know why they didn't want to touch it? Because there wasn't enough margin of profit in it. What we saw, we know, we just little people in Moeroa. All we saw was healthier whānau, employment covers its cost. Yeah, we'll go for it. Now, we've been involved in that for 12, 13 years, and we've learned a lot of lessons. See, the School of Hard Knocks where I come from, I learned as I go. I'm not necessarily a guy who reads a book and gets it. But in the process of being a haututu, or just trying things, you start to discover things. And so one of the things that, we did was healthy homes, and look at that. Almost this year, and I'm not trying to do this as a to show look at us, but I'm saying we can do this. There's no difference from me to you sitting in the audience. But this year, up to 5,000 homes will be retrofitted. Over that period of time, for 12 years, we've kept young men in Kaitaia, as well as down where we come from, employed. And also, can we flick to the next one, brother? Thank you. Some of the innovation, like one of the things that our young men can do are amazing stuff. It's a hard job being a retrofitter. You get underneath a house, you get up in the roof, but you know what? Those guys step up with pride. You know why? It's because they know they're helping their whanaunga. This is not just about mahi or putting pingas in your pocket, but this does real good for whānau in our community. And talking to what the doctor says, this is our attempt to give our little bit to try and make a difference. Next slide, brother. Or can I say, so there's our fellas. Likely lads, a lot of people see our workers, and the first thing, a bit mataku. They got a tattoo over here, they don't look the part. But I can tell you, we have over 200, 300 letters from whānau said these were the most amazing young men. You know why? Because a lot of those fellas were taught old school. You manaki ngā manuhiri. Especially with kaumātua kuia, because a lot of the work they do is with kaumātua kuia. They love these guys. Pākehā Māori. The letters we get back from what these guys do. But also, these guys, it's giving them a shot. The other thing, can I say, part of the innovation is that this is going, and we get funding from the government. Also, it's a collaboration of also business and also health providers. But we also want to make this a sustainable thing. So one of the things that we're doing is looking at a new solar water heating system, which cuts down hugely on the money you spend for warming your house. And one of the biggest bills we have is actually warming our water heating. Is our biggest part. So we're, tutuing again, trying to figure out how do we do this. And one of the key elements for us, it comes back to affordability. It's all right to have these wonderful ideas and these way out ideas, but if it's no good in the whānau can't use it, well, it's a waste of our time. So the innovation that we're trying to do, make sure that it actually meets the needs of the whānau that really need it. Kia ora. Next. Oh, now this is another one I love, and I see Pete here, and I know he's full background, and with rangatahi. Because, really, I used to say I was the oldest youth worker in the world, been doing it for about at least 35 years, and they pushed me out, you know, because I wasn't young anymore. Couldn't catch those fellas when we played touch, so I got the idea. But one of the things for me around innovation was Tutu Productions, because I come back to what Hilda said. You know, all these places are stages where our people can shine. We have to create platforms. You know, can I tell you this? We did some ads for the, what do you call it now? We did a lot of sort of media stuff, because we got Ngahau and some media people telling them, say, you come into our turf, you do all these media presentations for you know, a driving safety, drink drive, all that stuff. But sometimes the things you use got nothing to do with our world. It's not rural, it's not Māori, you don't have the language. So give us a shot. You know, well, we don't know, just give us a shot. So they did. And you know, we did well. Over about 6 years we crafted, our kids made the ads on the radios, they did a lot of the work around actually putting the stuff together. Now, are you fellas familiar with the Ghost Chips ad? I've got to take the show off, because that Ghost Chips ad, I was sitting in the room with my wife and my daughter, and we were watching it when it hit the TV, and we said, man, that ad looks like straight out of Mordor, because of the wit and the style of koro. Well, I got a phone call from the guy that was helping us, and he said it did. The idea behind those new ads, and now I see Vodafone using it, was what they did in Northland, in the little town of Moeroa. Now, I'm telling you, our kids, we see them talk about suicide. This stuff, this hui, is about giving hope. It's about us taking our ground. As they see us, that gives hope. Instead of thinking deficit of what we don't have, what do we have? We got heaps. We got heaps. Well, our tupuna, we talk about our history. They must have thought it was a great place to stay here and bring their whānau up. Why would it be any different to us? So the other thing too, there was you know, radio station. Look, I could do a list of young kids that have come through this kaupapa now, that have gone on to tertiary training, going through these platforms for them to shine. Now, if you went to Moroa today, you drive, it doesn't look like much happening there. Well, actually, don't believe it. Don't believe it. You know, I tell people, anybody want to get into community development? I try to say, don't. Don't is bloody hard work. And you can get those meetings when you come up because you're doing something different, and the whānau will just say to you, you know, they want to hang you. They want to hang you because something has gone wrong. But if you really want to make change, stay there. I think there's a little icon. Can I show you something? This is what they can do. Now this is old. It's actually quite old. But it actually shows you what young people can do, given the space, given the opportunity.
I'm walking on the ground, keep my heart to the street. So many people drown on my hold over shit so deep.
Kia ora, I'm Rayleigh. I work here at Tutu Productions here in Wairua. We can help take your talent from the street and put it to a beat.
By the seat, we can pop the boot. Down for seafood like we love to do.
Hey, what's up everybody? If you've just tuned in, you're hooking into Tutu Radio, coming to you live and correct from Motown Moroa. Right now, I'm going to hook you up with some local talent. Here's a bit of a tune. It's a hip-hop beat, so keep it locked in if you're down.
Need to stop, take the time to watch and listen. I bet you get a shot when I pick the proposition. Play my position on the way to proper living. I can see my roles like a light in the distance. I'm on my own 2 feet. I'm walking on the ground, onto the street. So many people drown in my hood over shit so deep. I just bust the microphone and dance it on the LSD. Get your mind right, fool. Far north is the place to be. That's where the skies are blue. Park by the sea, we can pop the boot. Down for seafood like we love to do. There ain't no other place like a day in the barn.
Hey. Thank you. Blue skies in the bottle, absolutely. And we got to see the blue skies. Now another one, I'm going to move quickly. Another one is a place called Tate. It's just been an incubator, a place where people can try to set up businesses. Now some of them, look, if you're going to do this game, and anybody in business will tell you, it's about trying stuff. You know, if you get bold and I failed, it was too hard, then you'll fail. But if you go like this, so what do I need to learn here? What is the thing I missed here? A lot of people come to me and say, gee, you guys did a wonderful thing. Well, I think after being in 20 years, we should have learned something. You know, it wasn't like it just dropped out of the sky and we got it. It actually means commitment to stay there, just like this Hildernum and the people that make difference. They stay in the place where the issue is and they figure it out. There's no magic wand. That's why I'm trying to debunk this thing of a social entrepreneur. I just got it. Actually, there's many people in this room who have ideas and capacity that I would say social entrepreneurs. I had uncles that were total ho-to-dos. They were social entrepreneurs because they did things I never saw other people did with hardly nothing. You know those uncles? The ability is always here. But that's been a collective where many things. So we've still got the CAF going. We've had to try different ways to do a CAF in a community like ours. And we're getting there. But it doesn't work the same as it does in every community. We have to figure those things out. And there are other groups. Those shops are still continually used by different people at different times for what is happening at the time. Now I'm going to finish here because I've sort of gone on too long and I know that other manuhiri that need to talk or people need to talk. And the last slide, there it is, the golden rule. I was going to say, there's this thing that comes from way back from the past, this deep knowledge. But this is what I found works. You know, I think Nelson Mandela said, we're afraid of our own greatness. If we start there, not what we haven't got, but what we have got, then the possibilities are huge. You know, and for the whānau te Rarawa, Ngāpuhi needs to be doing this, Ngāti Hene needs to be doing this, Ngāti Whātua needs to be doing this. Recognizing what we have, supporting each other to make it happen. So, no reira e te whānau, kumio roi tapu roi tēnei, ahi mate atu e manaki.